Good pass complete for number 30.
An impressive run from Stutz, and then the extra point from Dillon, the difference so far. That extra point may be huge in this ball game.
Could well be. Power eye, wide out to the left.
Changing directions on the field. Stutz dropping back the throw. He's got a man, and he's got the completion. That's a good throw and catch. Really, the catch that time was excellent. That's Ben Long. Long going up to get it that time, and Stutz laid it up for his man, and Long came down with an excellent catch.
Long, pretty good receiver.
That's one for the highlight reel right there.
Yeah, he got behind his defender, but had to hold up, but he went up in a jump ball and caught that thing. Good game.
You know, Stutz had some pressure on him that time, so he just threw it up and hoped his man would come down with it, and sure enough, Ben Long did.
36-yard line for the Pioneers.
Big completion. Big game that time. Stutz with the handoff to Dillon, and he's taken down immediately on the play.
He's going to lose a yard or two there.
That was a good defensive play that time from this Blue Devil defense. Number 58 bringing him down. That's Gunner Jesse again pouring through, so Jesse wreaking all sorts of havoc on that D-line right now.
He lost a yard on that play. It will be 2nd and 11 for the Pioneers from the Castlewood 38-yard line. Quick header to the fullback, and he didn't pick up much.
Straight forward with it, and a host of Blue Devils on to tackle. Number 50, that's Caleb Mead.
That was Stanley on the carry. He gets the ball back to the 35-yard line.
And the Pioneers trying to sneak one in there quick on him that time. They give it to Stanley straight up the middle, but Mead on his toes that time, able to bring him down. So here we are at 3rd down and 8. Possibly a passing situation. The Pioneers had some luck going to the air. Of course, the big completion of Ben Long that got him to this point to start with. Stutz is wanting to pass. He's looking for Long. He throws it out there, and diving for it is Ben, and he can't come up with what would have been a great catch. He gave it his all, though, and that ball thrown a little bit low.
Well, the ball was low, and it was a little short, too. Long got himself open. It was a quick out down.
Ends up rolling out of bounds off the incompletion. So 4th
down for the Pioneers. Ball at the Castlewood 35-yard line.
Might see the Pioneers go for it right here, Jamie. That would have been a great catch again by Long. Full extension. And he just couldn't come up with it on the short hop. So
4th and 9 for the Pioneers.
Long with one great catch. Got him to this point, and here we are 4th down, and the Pioneers going for it. They got one man wide. This is a handoff to Smith, and he is brought down by the shoestrings.
Stutz on the carry.
Stutz on the carry, and that's Colton Long. Long with the tackle.
But no gain. Actually, he was tackled right on the 35-yard line, so the ball will go over on downs to Castlewood.
That was Stutz on the carry. Excuse me again.
10:25.
I'll get it right eventually.
10:25 left on the clock here in the first half. And Matt, we got another pretty moon up there.
Yeah, it's a great night for football here. Under a full moon, so. Blue Devils will take over after a turnover on downs. Stutz was looking for the edge, but Long with a great tackle.
4 wide receivers for Castlewood.
Wood being pressured. Spins away from one, looking for room to work with. Spins away again, but they're going to get him down this time. Same guy got him twice, and the second time able to pull him all the way down to the ground.
They're going to mark him back about.
That's 85, Logan Smith with the tackle.
They're going to mark him back just shy of the 32-yard line.
If Castlewood's going to have any success through the air, Jamie, they've got to give the quarterback a little more time to throw.
That's a big loss, 19 or so yards. It's 2nd down, and the scoreboard's got 19. It might be closer to 20.
He lost a lot on the play.
Yeah,
2nd down and 19.
That was a big loss.
And they had no time to throw, and he did get away from Smith the first time. Smith fell to the ground and had time to get back up and tackle him again. So, big loss. 2nd and 19. Wood with the handoff. This one goes to Blevins. Blevins off the right side, and not much room to work with this time. Cameron Blevins falls forward. Maybe a gain of 1 or back to the line of scrimmage.
It looks like he gained about a yard there. We'll call it 3rd down and 18.
Snead on the tackle.
So 3rd and long for the Blue Devils.
Wood gets to play from the sideline, brings it in. Castlewood kind of looking for answers right now on offense. Haven't had much success in the last couple plays. They're going the wrong way, actually. It'll be a pass play from Wood. And it's going to be a pick 6 for the Pioneers. Into the end zone. Didn't throw it well. He was looking for Phillips coming out of the backfield, and right there with the interception and into the end zone for 6 goes Smith, that impressive freshman. Read it well, Jamie. I tell you what, that was a great play.
Yeah, he picked it off there, I don't know, somewhere around the 20-yard line, I think, or maybe even closer.
I think 15, actually.
Okay, we'll give him 15 yards on the interception.
Pick 6. He's had a good game so far.
Yeah, he jumped in there very alertly from his safety spot. Wood was trying a little pass out in the flat, and Smith picked it off. Scored.
You had Phillips kind of leaking out in the flats, and I think Wood thought he was wide open there, but Smith snuck in there at the last second and took it all the way into the end zone for a pick 6. And Dillon knocked it through for the extra point, and that makes the score 14-6 after the interception. Taken back into the end zone for a touchdown from Christopher Logan Smith, the freshman for the Pioneers, coming up big here at Tommy Bryan Stadium on homecoming night. He read that one well. 6 for that Pioneer defense, and that gives them a 15-6 lead. Aspen's got to get some protection for their quarterback. He's not having much time to throw it, and when he does, he's under pressure.
Yeah.
Pioneers are getting to him a lot of times, and that's what forced that interception right there.
Tight end Logan Smith will kick off for the Pioneers.
So Logan Smith, the big tight end, will kick it off after Christopher Logan Smith took it into the end zone for a pick 6. And he kicks it over toward the sideline. This is Ambergy. He's got the catch and then is brought down. That's a good open field tackle that time.
Stanley there on that tackle. No, wait a minute.
Walker Dillon on a tackle.
Yeah, that's Dillon.
Dillon with a good open field tackle, diving at the legs of Ambergy. Ambergy trying to keep his feet, but fell down. He had some room to work with, too. Dillon was really the only.
It'll be 1st and 10. 8:37 left here.
So Walker Dillon saves him some field position with a good open field tackle on Matt Ambergy.
That's 8:37 here in the first half.
Castlewood trying to bounce back here as Wood drops back the pass, and again, nowhere to throw it, nowhere to go, and he is hit hard that time. This is 74 with a huge hit. That's Seth Kaiser with a big hit. I tell you what, somebody got Wood low, Jamie, and somebody got him high, and Seth Kaiser was the guy who got him up top, and he hit him hard.
He loses back to the 17-yard line. Looks like it'll be 2nd down and about 15, a 5-yard loss on that one.
2nd and 15, about 8 minutes left to go in the half. Castlewood again looking for answers on offense. And
Castlewood sends 5 to the right side of the field, 1 wide out to the left.
the wide out to the left is Ambergy. Often a favorite target for Wood. Wood going to keep it himself, looking to get to the outside. Got some blockers out there, but not much blocking done as he can't even get in the open space at all.
He's going to lose about a yard on that play.
Lost a yard. A couple different Pioneers were there to make the tackle. One of them got to him, but the other two would have if he didn't. So, again, Wood with no room to work with going over to the outside. If he can get down the sideline, he's usually pretty dangerous, but he can't find any room to work with on the outside. This Pioneer defense is stepping it up.
3rd and 17 now for Castlewood.
Obvious passing situation now for the Blue Devils as, again, they go with the same formation on to the left side. Wood claps his hands. Man coming in motion. That's Ambergy. He's going to roll to his right, keep it himself. Trying to get to the outside, and he's going to be brought down. I think that's about the original line of scrimmage, Jamie. So
that was a good tackle.
Gain of about 6, but that's going to bring us to 4th down. That was a good tackle. Lebanon playing well in the open field. When it's one-on-one, they're making all the plays with these one-on-one tackles. So now we'll have a punt. This is Kyle Kennedy in to punt it for the Blue Devils. And it's partially blocked, I think. And it's going to land at about the 40 and then takes a Pioneer bounce. Not a good kick, and I think it was partially blocked, James.
Close to it, I know that.
Awfully wobbly. I believe they had Smith back to return, and no return as the ball was partially blocked by the Pioneers, so good special teams play from Lebanon.
That was Josh Witt that made that good tackle a minute ago, too.
Yeah, Witt is a good player for this Pioneer defense.
He's all over the place. But anyway, good field position once again for the Pioneers. They have it at the Castlewood 38-yard line, 1st and 10.
Stutes under center. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff goes to Walker Dillon. Burst of speed off the left side of the line before he is tripped up. Tripped up on the play by 62 Cody Ambergy, but a good gain.
Picks up about
for
5,
Dillon.
Looks like, Matt.
Give him 5 and
gets it down to about the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Pioneers.
Pioneers got to like the way they're playing so far, Jamie. They're moving the ball well, playing well on defense, getting good special teams play, and this field position they're starting out with may result in more points.
5:50 left in the first half. 14-6, the Pioneers lead it.
Stutes again under center. Couple wideouts out there, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff again to Dillon. Dillon trying to get away from a tackler, but cannot get out of the hands of number 58, Gunnar Jesse, who again makes a tackle. That's probably his 4th or 5th of the night already.
Picks up, look like about a yard on that play. It's going to be 3rd and 4 to go for the Pioneers.
That's the thing about Dillon. You don't wrap him up. He's going to break free on you.
Pioneers are definitely in 4-down territory, I think.
They're moving the ball. It is 3rd down and 4. They've got 4 yards to move it to get a fresh set of downs. Here's we approach 5 minutes into first half. And a timeout called on the field. Timeout called by the Pioneers. Let's take a timeout as well. It's 107-3, WXLZ 14-6, our score. Pioneers on top. For success so far for the Pioneers has been good tackling and the good special teams play there on the partially blocked punt, giving them this field position.
2 wideouts right, 1 to the left for the Pioneers. Stutes under center.
Stutes does go under center, and the handoff goes to Walker Dillon, and Dillon pushing forward. He's got the first down, and then more as he's dragging 2 Devils with him.
Gets that ball down to about the 19-yard line. That was quite a good run by Dillon. That one wasn't easy.
It was not. He carried 2 Devil defenders with him on his way to getting the first down. So good run there from Walker Dillon.
He's not that awful big, but he runs pretty powerfully.
Hard to bring down. I think it's his low center of gravity that makes him hard to bring down. You know, he kind of runs low to the ground.
Ball just inside the Castlewood 24-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Pioneers.
2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right, short side of the field, the right side. The handoff goes to Smith. Smith high-stepping and gets away from 1 tackler down inside the 10-yard line. Smith so far is having a whale of a game.
I tell you, he broke 1 tackle and he got his speed up, got the ball down to about the 6-yard line of Castlewood. So good run by freshman Logan Smith.
He's having himself a game. You know, he's kind of coming into his own, Jamie.
Well, he's mighty impressive freshman. But it's 1st and goal for the Pioneers from the Castlewood 6-yard line. Actually,
knocking on the door.
Ball's inside the 6 a little bit.
Under center, Stutes. Inside handoff and stood up at the line of scrimmage as the fullback as he's pushed backwards.
Pushed way backwards. He picked up a yard. That was Stanley running out of that fullback position, I think. Gets it down to the 5, so gain of a yard.
Was Stanley. And a big hit on him. They stood him up. Castlewood didn't fall for it that time.
It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line.
You see Smith coming out. I'm not sure you don't leave him in here and try to get him to score because he's breaking tackles all over the field tonight.
Well, Dillon back in that tailback.
Yeah, Walker Dillon. He's just as dangerous. They're going to hand it off to Dillon, who goes over to the left, and then he's hit hard and brought down before he can get to the end zone.
He gets down to about the 3-yard line, I think.
Dillon on the carry, and they are going to mark it around the 3, I think. So give him 2 yards. And here we are at 3rd down.
Might be just outside the 3.
Pioneers trying to punch it into the end zone.
Well, I can see that ball. It's on the 4-yard line.
Yeah, they didn't give him as much as we thought. Wideout's going to the right and left. Long to the left. Boyd to the right.
There's Smith.
Smith.
The tailback, and boy, he gets stacked up at the 5-yard line.
From deep in the backfield, and he's brought down on to play by a host of Devils. And that's going to bring us to 4th down. So what do you do here, Jamie? Do you try to kick a field goal, or do you try to get into the end zone?
I think Dillon's got enough leg to get it into the end zone there. We'll see what the Pioneers do. I think they're probably going to take another timeout.
Talk about it. I think you got to kick it here. I mean, if you don't, this could be a momentum changer for the ball game if you get stopped on 4th down.
Yeah, the ball, he's got a pretty good angle there, and Pioneers are going to take a timeout.
It's about in the middle of the field, I would say, wouldn't you? It's pretty much a straight-on kick.
They're going to let the shot clock run down and call timeout. That leaves 2:18 on the clock here in the second quarter, and I think the Pioneers will probably.
Yeah, I think you've got to kick a field goal right here with Walker Dillon, or at least attempt one. Anyway,
it's just really about 2 yards.
And it's a straight-on kick. It looks like it's right in the middle of the field. So I think you take the points here if you're the Pioneers and call it a success. But if you're Castlewood, that's a good defense right there.
Yeah, it's a good stand.
Good stand for Castlewood.
They're playing pretty good defense tonight.
Can't do much on offense so far, though. That's been the problem for Castlewood. Defense has been the shining star for the Pioneers.
First play, Phillips took it 95 yards for Castlewood, and since then they've
not been much at all.
Backwards.
Pioneers defense kind of woke up, I think, a little bit after the 95-yard run from Phillips to start things, and since then, like you said, not much to show on offense for Castlewood, but a defensive stand right here may change their luck on offense. A good defensive play a lot of times will turn it around for you.
Andy Stoots will hold. Dillon will kick it from about the 12-yard line.
Good snap, good hold, and the kick is also good. So Walker Dillon punching it through for 3 points. So the Pioneers elect to go with the points, and now they lead it 17-6 here on 107.3 WXLZ. I think it's probably a good call right there. Low line drive kick, bounces in front of Amberger. He takes it on a hop, and then he's tackled again. A good open field tackle. Walker Dillon is racing down the field, Jamie, and tackling these guys before they can get anywhere.
Yeah, he gets down there in a hurry, and so Castlewood's got the ball on their own 24-yard line. They've got 2:08 on the clock here before the half. They haven't used any timeouts, though, I don't think.
I think if they decide to use timeouts, it's going to depend on the fact if they can move the ball or not. That's what it's going to depend on, if they can move the ball.
2 wideouts either way.
Handoff goes to Blevins, and again he's tripped up. Seems like most of these tackles down around the ankles, they're chopping them down before they can get any yardage. Nowhere to work with that time. He gets about 5 yards, and that's all, but it could have been much longer than that had it not been a good open field tackle. Field, a diving low throw, but Woodruff side. Good enough.
That was Logan Smith that made that tackle down here on the first down play.
Got Blevins by the feet. It's 3rd down and 5. Spreading them out here. Wood with the quarterback keeper getting to the outside, trying to, and then he is hit hard and then brought down. Takes a big hit.
I think that's Josh Witt.
It was Witt, and Witt wrapped him up.
Yeah.
And a timeout called on the field from the Pioneers.
Yeah, Wood came to a sudden halt out there that time. And the Pioneers take another timeout here with 1:33 left. Castlewood in a punting situation.
Word from our sponsors coming up. Punt coming up from the Blue Devils as well here on 107.3. But what if you're Lebanon? And you're probably going to end up with pretty good field position and about 1.5 minutes to work with.
Smith and Cole Stoots back deep for the Pioneers. They're standing on their own 45.
Kennedy with room to kick it this time. And falling to make the play over on the far side.
Logan Smith.
That's Logan Smith, the freshman, up to make the catch and falling to the ground. So no return room that time for Smith.
Pioneers have it at their own 47-yard line. They've got 1:26 left on the clock here in the first half. They only have one timeout left. Pioneers lead at 17-6.
17-6, minute and a half to go in the first half. Try to round up some scores from around the area for you, and when we come up to the halftime break as well. Pioneers in control of this one so far. Stutes rolling to the right, looking to pass, throws it across the middle, and nearly picked off. Josh Wood had it in his hands and then dropped it. And he was looking for number 11 on the play for the Pioneers. He was looking for Bradley Bostic. And Wood, that's one he should have had right there. I mean, that's an interception waiting to happen.
That was Donovan Deal, I think. No, you got it right, yeah.
You know, Wood takes that one. You know, he has room to work with for days down here.
Yeah,
probably could have took it in for
Stokes
6.
should have thrown that pass.
Should have been intercepted, really.
Of course, he had a receiver further down the field that was more open.
He spreads them out this time. Man coming in motion. That's Smith. He's looking for the outside. Being pursued of Blue Devils down the sideline and then pushed out of bounds. On to play by Jack Ward.
Made a little something out of nothing there.
A man had a chance at him in the backfield, number 56, Jonah Cornett, and dove at his feet, but came up empty.
Picked up a yard on the play. It'll be third down now and 9.
3rd and 9 for the Pioneer offense. Castlewood's got to be kicking themselves right now after missing that interception opportunity. Could have been a momentum changer here before the half.
Wood missed one earlier.
Yeah, he's had a chance at 2 of them so far. Smith in motion. Handoff instead goes to Dillon. And then a good tackle on the play by David Mitten, who is always making tackles for the Blue Devils. Wraps up a tough man to bring down, Walker Dillon. And we're going to have a timeout called. Timeout called this time by Castlewood. So we'll take a timeout as well with about a minute left to go here before halftime. Castlewood's defense stepping up here as Pioneers try to put some points on the board before the half. 4th down on the way.
Only 59 seconds left. Logan Smith, the tight end Logan Smith, back doing the punting for the Pioneers.
Back deep is Josh Wood for the Blue Devils with about a minute left to go. Punt is in the air. It's a high punt and fairly deep as well. It's going to land right around the 19-yard line and fall out of bounds. He killed 6-7 seconds that time with the punt, so down to 52 seconds.
Castlewood will take over on their own 19-yard line, it looks like. They've got a couple of timeouts left, Matt.
And I think, once again, it'll depend on how well they can move the football.
Yeah, if they can get out of the hole there, where they can open it up a little bit.
But like you said, since that first touchdown from Phillips, it's been not very good.
Not very much offense out of Castlewood other than that one play.
So Wood will line them up here.
2 wide outs either side of the field.
Dropping back to pass. Now he keeps it up the middle and brought down by the jersey. It seems like he is one play away from breaking it open, and the Pioneers always are right there to make the play.
That's Josh Witt on that tackle. He got a hold of his jersey and didn't let go. Gain of 3 on the play.
Seems like he is a step or 2 away. He's dropping back to pass again, and again he's going to keep it, and again he's wrapped up. I think at some point you just got to put it in the air if you're Wood.
Picks up a couple of yards.
Yeah, he just got a couple, and now we're down to 14 seconds.
Castlewood,
and a timeout called by the Blue Devils.
They take another timeout.
Well, we'll keep it here during this one, but, you know, Wood's trying to keep it and it seems like the Pioneers are ready for that.
Yeah.
So I think you've just got to you've got to either throw it downfield and hope one of your guys come up with it, or settle for an incompletion. But you're not getting much on these quarterback keepers right now. And like I said, it seems like he's a step or two away from breaking these runs open, but the Pioneers are always there to bring him down some way, somehow.
They probably got a spy on him too, Matt. You know, sometimes you set up a defensive player and you go where he goes, ignore everything else, and that may be the situation, because he's having trouble getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But it'll be third.
They close in on him in a hurry.
It's 3rd and 7, and only 14 seconds on the clock. Pioneers will probably go into a little prevent defense, which sometimes is more susceptible than your regular defense. Now, they look like they're staying pretty much in their regular defense. They've got Ben Long back here about 15 yards back.
Just in case. Meanwhile, Wood claps his hands. He's ready to go. He's dropping back to pass. He'll throw it across the middle, and then hit hard on to play is Ward as he makes the catch and then pops up. That is a first down.
Got the ball up to about the 32-yard line.
That's a first down for the Blue Devils. He took a hard shot, but he did make the catch.
Castlewood going no huddle here.
And that's been one of the few times tonight that Woods had time to throw it.
Yeah.
And he hit his man coming across the middle. Ward paid for it, but he was able to make the catch, and the final timeout called by the Blue Devils.
They've got it 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line with 8 seconds on the clock.
Or find something in their playbook that the Pioneers haven't seen on film or haven't prepared for. Meanwhile, the Pioneers got to be thinking they played very well in this first half, especially on the defensive side of the ball. That first play for 95 yards, a wake-up call for them. Not much to show for this Blue Devil offense since then. We've got 8 seconds left to go before half.
2 wide outs to the right, 1 to the left. Wood in the shotgun.
Dropping back to pass. Pioneers do get some pressure on him. And he's looking to run. Gets to the outside. And then that is it as he is brought down way downfield across the 50-yard line. The Pioneers played a little dangerously that time, but they were able to bring him down after he gains quite a bit. Yep. But not enough for the score, as they needed a score with only 8 seconds left to go on that play with a long way to go. Pioneers could play it a little bit on the edge. 17-6, the score here at the half. Back in just a moment after a word from our sponsors on 107.3.
That'll take a pretty good break.